Hello and welcome back to the Great Lakes Truck Series presented by Patty Engineering. And here we are at Homestead Miami Speedway for the Giant Tiger 200. This should be a lot of fun. I am in the booth by myself tonight, unfortunately. Elliott Henderson out there making his first start of the season in the number 36 truck. And Gavin Fitzgerald also out there on the racetrack. And then Alex having computer issues. This should be a lot of fun. We're going to do 125 laps here at Homestead Miami Speedway. Their pace car is about to pull off here momentarily. We're going to have around 2 pace laps around Homestead before we go green flag racing. A couple of storylines to cover. Jake Miller, a very, very tough contender here at Homestead Miami Speedway. He should really be putting up a hard fight as he's starting from, surprisingly, in the 21st position, making some mistakes in qualifying. But last year, he led the most laps here at Homestead, but unfortunately, because of pit issues, wasn't able to become the winner. The winner was the driver of the number 36 machine, Elliott Henderson, making his first start of the season here today. Three-time champion of the Great Lakes Truck Series, so should be a lot of fun watching him race out there today. Michael Sensi coming in as your points leader still after a pretty good race last week. After having all the issues that he had, I think he was able to come home with, give me one moment, I think I have it up here, but I think he came home with the top 15 finish last week. Yeah, he came home with a 13th place finish last week at IRP. So great performance from your points leader. And I'm going to give you guys the starting lineup as they have finally driven onto the racetrack. On the pole, last week's winner, Daniel Nanny. And on the outside, Ashton Lawson. And then on the inside of row 2, the guy I'm pulling for tonight, Jordan Gonzalez, unfortunately lost his grandfather. So we're all heavy hearts for him tonight. Excited to see how he does out there tonight in the number 3 machine, needing a good run. And then on the outside, the number 39 of Justin Mons. In the next row, you have Michael Sensi, your points leader, and DJ Stagner. In the next row, William Barbagelata and Aaron Duclos. In the next row, Elliott Henderson, Ross Brockman. In row number 6, you have Josh Cottle and Eric Kepf. In row 7, you have Frederick Camines and Christopher Huerta. In the next row, you have Tyler McClellan and Lewis Woodall. In row number 9, you have Matthew Durr and Brandon Neufel. In row 10, Kevin Waltler and Michael Levine. Row 11, Jack Miller, Mark Benda. Row 13, you got row 13, Adolfo Delgado and Hunter Brittle. In the next row, you have Shane Neiswanger and Kyle Hall. Then you have Justin Benda and Matt Daniels. Pace car is about to pull off here soon. Only a half a lap to green. We have a full field out there tonight. 43 cars. Should be very interesting seeing a full field out here tonight. Looked like he might have had an issue. Not sure what exactly happened to them there. But very disappointing to see issues this early from Stagner after a great qualifying run. Pace car is about to pull off. And we're going to go green flag racing. 200 miles, 125 laps. The pace car is off, and last week's winner, Daniel Nanny, will lead him to the green flag here in Homestead. It's off to a great restart in the number 30 machine. Off to a couple car length lead. Lawson right behind, not too far behind him, but Jordan Gonzalez already trying to jump into that second spot in the number 3 machine. Big battles in the back of this field. Jordan Gonzalez looking to clear Lawson, and he will going into turn number 3. Oh, but he gets sideways. Great save from Gonzalez. Barbagelata gets past him. And the first yellow flag is out for the day. Not sure what that one was out for. We'll have to get back to you on that one. But definitely a very exciting start. I love watching Homestead, a multi-groove racetrack. Always exciting to watch, especially on those longer runs. If two drivers stay near each other for those longer runs, you're going to see that high lane really begin to kick in. Sorry, trying to figure out what the accident was out for. Looking at Daniel Nanny right now, your race leader. Looks like Michael Levine spun around coming out of turn 4 right there. Michael Levine having a lot of bad luck last week at IRP. So disappointing to see him around this early. It looks like he might have gotten some help from the number 87 of Kyle Hall. Gonna need to take another look at that one. And here we go. Levine looks like he just gets it loose, actually. Caught it halfway through the accident. Levine just gets it loose and comes down right in front of Kyle Hall. Wrong place at the wrong time for the number 87 machine. Gonna take another look at this. Michael Levine, those fresh tires, still cold. Just gets it a little loose. Likely he might have gotten a bump as well. Couldn't make out which vehicle that was that might have given him a little bump. Looked like it might have been the 04 of Mark Benda. But we'll definitely see more of him today. We're looking through the field right here. But while we're looking through the field, this broadcast here is this broadcast telemetry is brought to you by SDK Gaming here today. Also, the cameras today are brought to you by Track Cams for Gourmets. That's Track Cams for Gourmets, trackcams22.com for all your custom cameras here on iRacing. Still early on. I don't expect anybody to make pit stops right now. Only a couple laps on these tires. The fuel window, I've heard, is around 35 to 38 laps today. Interested to see if we'll do any green flag stops. Like I said, Homestead is one of those tracks that really thrive off a long run. On the short runs, it's kind of just a low to middle lane dominated track. But once you get a couple laps out there, maybe like 20, 25 laps, I'd say, that high lane really kicks in hard, and it's hard to really defend the high lane. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens here today in Homestead. Daniel Nanny, your race leader, Ashton Lawson right behind him. Justin Mons right there in third. He really needs a good run here today. So very impressive start to the race in the third position in the number 39 machine. Justin Mons. Big picture there for him. He looks really strong in that gamer advantage machine. And then don't count out in fourth place. He'll be on the outside of row number 2 on this next restart. William Barbagelata, Mr. Excitement, and that bright green Interstate Batteries machine. How can you miss him? It's always a lot of fun to watch him race. Michael Sensi up here in the top 5, getting off to a good start to the race. Able to keep himself up here in the top 5 after the madness with Jordan Gonzalez coming off turn 4. Once again, a great save from him as he's stuck it out in the 6th spot. Didn't lose very many positions from almost losing it off turn 4. And I think we're going to get the one to go this time by. The lights go out. Lights are out. So we're going to go green flag race, and this time by. Daniel Nanny's going to lead him to the green flag. Nanny coming into this race 4th in points after that win last week. Point standings have gotten a lot closer as Daniel Nanny is only 9 points outside of the points lead coming into today in the 4th spot. Ross Brockman and Barbagelata are tied for 2nd, only 6 points behind Sensi. And then Gavin's a little bit of a distant 5th, 22 points back of Sensi and 13 points back of Nanny. A lot of these guys just looking for a good points day here in Homestead. Pace cars are going to pull off, coming off turn 4, this time by Daniel Nanny, and the number 30 machine is going to lead him down. Nanny, Lawson, Barbagelata. I'm really going to be keeping my eyes on Barbagelata, see if he can get a good restart here. Maybe possibly try to get in front of Lawson, maybe make it 3 wide. And here we go. And the green flag is out. Nanny leads him down. Good restart for Nanny. Gets out to a couple car lengths lead coming into turn 1. Barbagelata trying to get in front of Lawson. Lawson putting up a fight down low. Mon's looking for his opportunity to make a move. Lawson's going to file in right behind Barbagelata. Sensi tried to send it in on Justin for a second there. Thought better of it. They're lining up here in the front. The top 10 cars lined up. See some battles there around 11th, 12th place. Josh Cottle. You see Jake Miller trying to get himself up to the front. He has a lot of speed. He was the quickest in practice. Like I said, he led the most laps here last year, and apparently should have won the race if it wasn't because of practice issues. It wasn't because of pit issues. Oh, the number 3, Gonzalez in the wall. Jordan Gonzalez smacked the wall. He's facing his adversity here early in the number 3 machine, and now he's battling to hold on to a 10th place. Jake Miller trying to take 9th away from Gonzalez as he jumps to the high side. Cremines right there in front of him. Cremines put out a good qualifying run this week. Cremines usually starts at the back and moves his way to the front slowly, but him starting already near the front. Interested to see how he performs here today. Josh Cottle holding tough on that inside line right now in the number 13 machine. Jordan Gonzalez right to his outside, still at his quarter panel. Not missing anything up in front, as these guys are still single file all the way to around 8th place. And it looks like Cottle's going to get the spot from Gonzalez. You're looking at Gavin Fitzgerald and his giant Tiger machine, our broadcast partner. Number 13, Cottle leading this group of guys right here, trying to get up to the front group. Tyler right behind him in that number 44 Dr. Pepper machine. Just popped up on your screen like that. Got some rookie stripes on that machine. Tyler going to jump to the inside of Cottle. Gonzalez right there behind him. Bet Gonzalez is looking forward to a caution, maybe to repair some side damage and get some fresh tires on that machine. It looks like Tyler's going to take the spot. Cottle. You're looking at Hunter. Hunter had a very disappointing qualifying run. I watched his qualifying run. It looked like he kind of got up in the wall, and then he just looked like he was just kind of disappointed and just kind of coasted around the track from there. But Hunter Madalena is slowly making his way to the front as he's already picked up 6 spots in the number 9 machine. He is up to 30th. He has a lot of speed, so I wouldn't be surprised at all if we see him up there in the top 5 before this race is done. He's making a move in the number 48 of Delgado right now, trying to take the 29th spot. And we have a battle for the 3rd spot, it looks like. Lawson's getting a lot of pressure from Justin. Justin's been all over his bumper the last few laps, and then 1 and 2 last time he peeked his nose and got underneath him a little bit. These guys are just sitting in right behind Nanny. Wondering if Nanny's using up his tires a little more with that fresh air. Ooh, Barbagelata gets a little loose off the corner. Able to keep it straight. Justin keeps on peaking low in 1 and 2. Not close enough to really make a move that time. But trying to get that clean air to his nose, it looks like. Elliott Henderson in the old black machine right behind him. Elliott Henderson looks strong. He won here last season, season number 3 of the Great Lakes Trucks. He is looking good here again today. Sensi right there behind him. And slowly creeping into the picture, Jake Miller in the number 4 machine, the self-proclaimed season 4 champion right here. He's coming up quick. I think he's the guy to really watch here today. Lawson and Justin begin to battle it out a little bit as well for the 3rd spot. These guys are really putting on a show for these fans here today. Really battling it up here in the top 5 here in Homestead. Elliott Henderson making moves. He's going to try to get himself into the 3rd spot, trying to get in front of Ashton Lawson. Nanny is beginning to check out on these guys a little bit. Sensi making a move. He's not giving up his spot to Jake Miller that easily. This is some great racing you got here. Justin right there in the middle of these 2 battles in the number 39. Lawson holding off Henderson for now as that high line is beginning to kick in, I see. We're on lap number 17. This wouldn't surprise me if that high line really begins to kick in right about now. Because Lawson is holding tough to Elliott Henderson. Henderson's going to have to fall in behind him and try to find another way past him. Henderson peaking high. Trying to get the run off the corner. Sensi right there. Almost hit him in the corner panel. Almost spun it too. Great save for the number 92 machine. Sensi pushing it hard, but he needs to keep the car straight if he wants to keep himself in the points lead. I feel like points are the most important thing for Sensi. As he gets a battle now from the number 4 of Miller. Jake Miller trying to clear him off the corner. Wasn't quite able to. Aaron Duclos beginning to get himself into the picture in the number 97. Duclos needing a good run. Jake Miller trying to clear Sensi off the corner. Will he do it this time? He will. Like Sensi might have given him the spot off the corner there. And Miller finally moves himself into the 5th spot. Right behind Elliott Henderson. Elliott Henderson and Jake Miller were the 2 guys that dominated the last race here. So this should be a battle between them. But Nanny's really checked out. He's almost a half a second in front of Barbagelata right now. And Lawson's going to make a move for 2nd. The Subway machine trying to get back into 2nd place. Lawson got off to a little bit of a slow start. Maybe he was waiting for those tires to kick in, as he's been one of the fastest guys on the track the last few laps in the number 24. Lawson down low. Miller right behind him. Jake Miller trying to get past Henderson now. Jake Miller looks so strong in that number 4 season 4 champion machine. He looks awfully fast. He's going to try to clear Henderson in the corner, and he will. Henderson falls in right behind him. He's going to try to cross him over, it looks like. Right on his bumper coming off the corner. Henderson letting him know he's still right there. And here comes Duclos in the number 97. Barbagelata and Lawson going at it hard for 2nd right now. Nanny's really checking out. Niswanger not happy on the radio, not sure what about, but he sounded really, really upset on the radio as this battle for 2nd really begins to heat up, as Jake Miller now is going to battle Barbagelata, and Lawson finally gets past him. Lawson back into the 2nd spot. Jake Miller putting the pressure on Barbagelata. Jake Miller might be the class of the field, but he's trying to get himself up to Daniel Nanny, who's led the whole thing so far. Miller's going to clear Barbagelata. And now Henderson's next to William. Barb and Henderson battling it out for the 4th spot. Miller trying to clear Lawson going into 3, and he will. Lawson doesn't put up much of a fight, as he knows Jake Miller is a lot faster right now. Jake Miller has the jets on that number 4 machine. Everyone's struggling to make a pass, but this 4 truck makes it look so easy. Jake Miller now going to try to put some distance between himself and Elliott Henderson, and Ashton Lawson, as now he's going to go after Nanny. Henderson almost was able to clear Lawson off of turn 2. Wasn't quite able to. Henderson's clear of Lawson now. And Lawson's going to fall in right behind him, right in front of Barbagelata. And Duclos is right there. Duclos looks fast. He's gotten himself into the 6th spot. He's been slowly moving his way up through the field. He's one of the drivers that really, really needed a good run after a really bad start to the season. A lot of trouble the number 97 has faced throughout the season so far. And it's good to see him up here in the top 10, threatening to get himself into the top 5, as he's right behind William Barbagelata, a.k.a. Mr. Excitement, in the number 27 machine. And you're watching a battle right here. It looks like RJ Williams, the number 21. RJ looking strong here today. He's already moved up 20 spots. A lot of speed out of the number 21 machine, but I am not surprised. RJ Williams is a fantastic race car driver. And I think he'll be up there in the top 5, top 10 before this race is over for sure. Give you a Hunter update as well. Hunter's up to the 24th spot. He's up 12 spots. So a lot of these guys that started in the back of the field that I know has a lot of speed are making their way through the field pretty quick. Sean Hayes as well, as Sean Hayes is getting past RJ Williams. These guys are battling it out, but Brittle, like he might have got himself on the wall right there, the number 10 machine. And the Air Force number 10, RJ Williams, is going to try to get past him now, as he kind of used him as a pick to get in front of Sean Hayes. And now Sean Hayes is right back behind RJ Williams and is trying to clear Hunter Brittle, but is not going to be able to do it off of turn 2. Gavin Fitzgerald right behind these guys. Gavin's moved up 10 spots since the start of this race. Not really missing too much up at the front. Jake Miller is catching Daniel Nanny, though. He's catching him around a 10th a lap. So within the next few laps, I would expect the number 4 to be right there. Interested to see how he's going to be able to make the pass. Daniel Nanny's been so quick today, and he's had clean air the whole time. Hasn't had to battle anybody in the early going of this race. So we're going to definitely see that tire difference when Miller gets there. Miller is closing in. You're seeing him close in right now. They're battling hard right there, as you see now on your screen. 3 wide. Looks like Stagner, Eric Kepf, Christopher Huerta. Stagner trying to get himself back up to the front, as he had the issue while he was on the grid, had to pull down pit road. He's gotten himself back up here into the top 20, looking very strong in the number 64 machine. Some great racing here in Homestead today. Like I said, Homestead Miami just puts on great... Oh, Miller! Oh my gosh! I interrupted myself! Jake Miller just moves Nanny out of the way. That's how he's going to pass him. I was mentioning a second ago, how is he going to pass him? That's how. The bump and run this early in the race. Possibly some bad blood there, not sure. Daniel Nanny was pretty aggressive with some guys last week at IRP. Jake Miller might have been one of those guys you might have rubbed the wrong way last week. And Jake Miller is now your race leader. A lot of damage to the back of that number 30 machine as well. Don't know how badly that's going to affect him. As now he has pressure from Elliott Henderson. Wow. Some action, some drama early here at Homestead. And while that was going on, Duclos has moved himself into the 4th position. Now Henderson's going to try to drive for second. As you watch the replay there of the number 4 of Jake Miller just moving the number 30, Daniel Nanny, out of the way. Henderson moves into the 2nd spot. Duclos trying to take over 3rd. Nanny's beginning to fall back. I'm really wondering if that damage is affecting him now, possibly slowing him down. That back bumper is kind of pushed up a little bit, almost like a parachute. So definitely could be slowing him down, as now Lawson's going to try to pass him. And where did the 13 come from? Oh my gosh, Josh Cottle. Where did you come from, bro? Oh my gosh, Josh Cottle up here in the 6th spot. A couple laps ago, I thought he was back there in 10th, but now he's up here trying to get himself into the top 5. Must have really been saving those tires early. Nanny really falling back. Now he's about to fall back behind Cottle. Cottle's going to move himself into the top 5. Good, impressive run from the 13 here early today. Not too far behind them is Barbagelata and Justin Mons and Lewis Woodall And then the battle for 10th right now is Michael Sensi and Jordan Gonzalez. Jordan Gonzalez racing hard here tonight. You saw that in the early laps. Trying to get himself a great finish here tonight. And then Sensi trying to hold himself into the points lead. Got off to a good start, but Sensi has fallen back since. Started 5th, and he's fallen back to now 11th spot as Gonzalez is trying to clear him. And Ross Brockman not too far behind these guys. Not really missing anything at the front, but Cottle's into the pits, actually. The number 13, Josh Cottle, will be your first one making green flag stops here today. Oh, and the number 39, Justin Mons, is in the wall. Looked like he tried to take a wide entry to 1 and 2 and just took a little bit too wide of an entry and got the wall a little bit. But as I was saying, when it comes to pit stops, now that we have one driver on pit road, I expect everyone to come on pit road now because tires are going to make a huge difference as these guys are driving 3 seconds slower, 3 whole seconds slower than they were earlier. But Aaron Duclos, he must have really been saving his tires because he is freaking flying. He's driving 0.2 of a lap faster than Jake Miller. Jake Miller's been the fastest guy all day as he's driven from the back to the front. And Aaron Duclos needing a good run, looking to take the race lead as we are in pit stops. Interested to see if one of these guys might come down pit road this time by. Jake Miller will stay out, and so will Duclos. So does Elliott Henderson and Ashton Lawson and Daniel Nanny. Your whole top 5 stays out. Josh Cottle, those tires might really work for him. Sensi coming off pit road right now, your points leader. The only way this strategy could really hurt these guys is if we get a caution right now, because then they'll be trapped a lap down. So it's definitely a risky strategy if we get a caution. Oh, and here comes Duclos. He really sent it in on Miller that time. I thought he was going to get him in the quarter panel. Duclos is really trying to get past him before pit stops. This should be exciting. Coming down. These guys are going to come down to pit stops very soon. Duclos really trying to get in front of him before this pit cycle. Be really keen for him to get in front. And he's just really putting the pressure on. He's not letting up. He's all over him. He's right there at the quarter panel now, trying to get next to him, maybe take some of that air. Just not quite able to right there. Miller holding tough. Your top 5 still staying out. Very interesting to see these guys stay out as long as they have. Because for sure, at this point, Sensi or somebody that made that early stop is going to cycle back to the race lead. Duclos really sent it there, and he's going to clear him. And Jake Miller's going to come into pit road. Jake Miller, the number 4 machine, comes down pit road to make his pit stop. The rest of the top 5 stays out. Miller going to take 4 tires here. We're looking at Elliott Henderson now. Elliott Henderson has a lot of speed, especially early in that run. Possibly used up his tires a little early. He's since fallen back a little bit. It sounds like Aaron Duclos, your race leader, is going to come in this time. The number 97 machine, the Defiance Chevy. Duclos having a fantastic run here today. He's going to pull himself in the pit box. Wait. Drove through a good amount of boxes right there. Duclos having a great run today. Needing a fantastic run here today after a very slow start to the season. Really waited for his tires to kick in on that first run, and it worked to his advantage. And these guys are continuing to make pit stops. William Barbagelata sounds like he's coming into the pits. A lot of your race leaders coming in. Elliott Henderson into the pits. Ross Brockman will now be your race leader as he stays out in the Rowdy Energy machine. Very interested to see where this pit cycle is going to cycle out. There's a lot of guys making stops at completely different times. So this is going to be some crazy racing for the first few laps. Because the guys that came in early, like Sensi, those tires are already a little bit worn, so they're already going to be around a half second slower than the guys coming onto the racetrack. So we're definitely going to be seeing some crazy moves and some crazy laps with everybody on different strategies. Ross Brockman still leading the race. Ross, the number 52, all the way up high, looking to let the number 44 by. Ross, interested. Oh, here he comes. Here he comes. I was about to say, interested to see if he's going to come in this time, but right when I was about to say it, came over the radio saying the 52 is coming in. Here comes Ross Brockman. Coming into the race, tied for second in points, and the number 52 Rowdy Machine. Needing a good run here today to try to take the points lead away from Sensi. Looks like Stagner is now going to take the race lead in the number 64 Machine. Curtis Granger as well in second spot. A lot of guys still have not made pit stops. Marshall Wilson, Hunter Madalinas, Breyer Fritz. A lot of guys still have yet to come into the pits. Really hoping on a caution flag to really throw a monkey wrench into this race with everybody on different strategies. And here comes Tyler onto pit road, and it sounds like he was out of gas actually coming off the corner. I'm not sure what happened there with the number 44 Machine. He's on pit road. Jordan Gonzalez really slow on the track right now. I'm not sure what's going on with the number 3 Machine, as he is terribly slow right now. Sounds like Michael Levine is going to come down pit road this time. One of those drivers that has yet to make a pit stop. Looks like Gonzalez has gotten it back up to speed, but he was really slow there for around a half a lap. You're looking now at the number 73 Machine of... Who's driving the 70th? Oh, we're going to get a replay, actually. Oh, and that's why. That's what happened to Jordan. Jordan Gonzalez. And here comes Michael Levine. He's going to make a stop, and he almost spins it into the grass. Great save from him. And it's going to cycle out to Jake Miller being in the race lead, it looks like. Breyer Fritz is angry on the radio. Not sure what's going on over there. But Jake Miller is leading the field. RJ Williams, you see right there behind him. And then there in the third spot, it looks like it's Elliott Henderson. Elliott Henderson trying to get himself up there to Jake Miller, as these two are different strategies. Jake Miller leading the field now as everybody has made their stops. Except for, I don't think RJ Williams has actually made his stop yet. But he's currently in the second position in the number 21 Machine. Really hoping on a caution. A caution would really help him right now, because a lot of these guys already have a good amount of laps on their tires. So you'd think they'd come on and get at least right side tires, if not 4. So RJ is really, really hoping on a caution right now in the number 21 Machine. Jake Miller leading the field. Got a little shake up to the lineup here. Looks like Josh Cottle has moved himself into the third spot. Cottle looks strong today, especially on that longer run last time. He looked really strong the longer we went. So maybe him coming in early might play into his advantage because of his tire fall off. His tire's not quite falling off as much as these other guys because of the way he drives around the racetrack. His tires could be not even. It's obviously going to be a little bit more fallen off, but not as fallen off as they would have been if he drove it harder. Josh Cottle takes it really easy at the beginning of his runs. And at the end of his runs, he goes a little harder. So it'll be interesting to see if maybe the tires even out at the end of the run. Looking at Jake Miller getting past Kyle Hall, as Kyle Hall will go a lap down. Kyle Hall in the number 87 Machine needing a good run. Had a good start to the season. Last couple weeks has struggled a little bit. Now you're looking at the number 44 of Tyler. Tyler's looked strong here today. Running in the top 10 most of the day. came down really late on that last set of stops. And from what I heard on the radio, it sounded like he ran out of gas in the middle of 3 and 4, so a little bit slow on his entry. Now you're looking at Sean Hayes. Sean Hayes has been very strong today in the number 1 machine. Been running around 15th as of late, but he came all the way from the back after those tire fall off. He was around 15th before those stops. And Sean Hayes looking very strong in the number 1 machine as he's moved himself into the 9th spot. Right in front of him is Sensi. You see Sensi right there. Actually, that's Ashton Lawson. My bad. Sensi's actually behind him. Ashton Lawson, the number 24, has fallen back on this run a little bit in that Subway machine after having a great start to the race. Was running in the top 3 for almost the whole beginning portion of this race. Has fallen back a little bit due to the tire strategy. Sensi's in the 10th spot, but in front of Lawson, you have Justin Mons in 7th, who's having a great run in the number 39 machine. Very impressed by his performance. And for a moment, we're going to send it out for a quick crank it up. First crank it up of the race. Going to hear those engines for a little bit as we maybe see some battles develop on the racetrack. And I'm back. Jake Miller, still your race leader in the number 4 machine. Has around a 3-second lead over Duclos. Duclos came in 1 lap later than Jake Miller last time. And Duclos was really strong on that long run, like super strong. So I wouldn't count out Duclos. Duclos caught him around a 10th last time by. You're looking at Sean Hayes right now in the number 1 machine as he's battling for the 10th spot right now. Ross Brockman in the number 52, and then number 50 of Frederick Kameen's back here. Ross Brockman needing a good run, trying to get himself into the points lead. And he's ran pretty well today in the number 52 machine. Ross Brockman been in the top 10 most of the day, sitting in 12th right now in that Rowdy Energy machine. Doing everything he can to try to get himself into the points lead. But Sensi's just having a little bit of a better day as he's been in the top 10 all day long. But Sensi's since fallen back to 15th. Sensi's fallen back a little bit, not too far behind Brockman. Since he was on a different strategy as he was one of the first drivers that came down pit lane. So interested to see if he's going to once again do that. come in a little bit earlier than these guys because he can't make it as far on fuel now. So he's kind of forced onto this strategy almost, unless we get a caution. Watching the 52 is of Brockman. Ross trying to get himself up there into the top 10. He's not too far behind Sean Hayes and Matthew Durr. Look at the number 4 of Jake Miller. He's really putting on a show up here in the front. Ever since he's taken the lead, he hasn't looked back. Duclos is catching him a little bit, catching him a couple hundredths, if possibly even a tenth a lap, some laps. But really waiting for that long run speed to kick in for the number 97 of Duclos. In the third spot, you have Elliott Henderson. In fourth, you have RJ Williams, who's still out there on the racetrack. I'm beginning to believe that he might have just done a gas and go in the number 21 machine. RJ Williams looking very strong. The fact that he's in the fourth spot, really hoping that the caution comes out, because that would be a strong strategy at that point. Him just doing a gas and go, or possibly right side tires only. In the fifth spot is Josh Cottle. In the sixth spot, you have Daniel Nanny. He's fallen back to sixth since leading most of the beginning of this race. Ever since Miller took the lead and got into his bumper a little bit, the number 30 hasn't been quite the same, unfortunately. In the seventh spot, you have Ashton Lawson. In eighth, you have Justin Mons, who's having a great run today. He really needed it. Lewis Woodall in ninth, having a good run today. And Matthew Durr in 10th. Matthew Durr has a lot of speed, but had a lot of trouble last week at IRP. Was one of my favorites to win last week, but just had so many issues last week, unfortunately. And has really brought it back this week and looking to get a top 10. Saw the 73 on pit road there. Not sure if that was a scheduled stop or not, because a little bit early, even for the guys that came early last time. Watching Ross right now. Ross has been very strong. He's trying to get himself up there to the top 10. He's not too far behind Stagner and Matthew Durr. Stagner's had a great run as well. Moved his way from the back since the grid issues. Jake Miller leading the field. Last couple laps, he's actually put a little bit of distance between himself and Duclos. Duclos almost 3 seconds back. Looking at that number 97 machine of Aaron Duclos, who's having a great run today. Very happy for him because he's just had a very struggle start of the season. It's been very unfortunate for the number 97 machine. But he might be able to catch Jake Miller. As you saw there on the screen, Jake Miller is approaching a lot of lap traffic. Right now, it's 3 wide, actually. You see Jake Miller jumping underneath Gavin Fitzgerald and then the number 28. And, oh, Fitzgerald's in the wall! It looks like Shiflett might have gotten him a little bit in the corner panel. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. They're talking it over a little bit on the radio. Gavin Fitzgerald having a very unfortunate run today. Gotten himself up to around 20th. And hasn't really gotten himself any further than that, unfortunately. He was one of those drivers that would love to see a caution and gather everybody back up so he can make some spots up on the restart. Jake Miller now trying to get past the number 25 Walmart machine of Matt Daniels. Matt having a tough run here today. Looked like he might have gotten a little bit in the wall even, as he has some right side damage to the number 25 machine. Possibly affecting him. Even got some right nose damage to the number 25. Now the number 4 is beginning to approach Justin Benda. You're looking at Matthew Durr in the number 41 machine and Lewis Woodall. These guys are really beginning to battle back here. Matthew Durr needing a good run here today. Really needs a good run, battling Woodall for 9th. And Stagner has really been quick the last few laps as he's moved himself into the 8th spot. Very impressed by Stagner's performance as he's came from the back. He's getting himself back to where he was. He was one of the last guys that made pit stops that last time by as well. To put it in perspective, Jake Miller came in at lap number 38. DJ Stagner came in at lap number 45. So Stagner is running quicker lap times than your race leader right now. As we're going to have more pit stops. It looks like RJ is on pit road. And Josh Cottle looks like that might be as well. Back to Jake Miller. Miller in the number 4, self-proclaimed season 4 champion, driver of the number 4. He dominated this race last year, but because of issues when it came to pit stops, he failed to go to victory lane last year. Elliott Henderson, your driver in 3rd, was. So interesting to see how he does on pit road. He has to be perfect or do close, or Henderson could get to him. Watching some battling back here. Henderson trying to get past these guys, it looks like. Henderson having some problems. He's going to clear him going into 3. Interested to see when these guys are going to begin to make some pit stops. These pit stops are going to be coming up really soon. You've seen some guys come in, but most of the drivers are still out there on the racetrack. Like Gavin Fitzgerald just pulled out of the pits in the number 14 machine. And this is just a track filled with strategy. I love Homestead. You can do a lot of fuel strategy. You can do a lot of tire strategy. You can really wait for that high line to kick in, and then once you're later on the run and your tires aren't quite worn out, you can just drive past everybody on the high side. Always a lot of fun here at Homestead. We're in the middle of the second pit cycle. You see Nanny and Lawson coming down pit road. Nanny! Ooh! Nanny was really fast coming into pit road. Possibly could have gotten a black. I might even gotten in the back of Lawson a little bit. Almost spinning it coming into pit road there, trying to get some time back. Nanny led the first almost 30 laps of this thing. Jake Miller is still out there on the racetrack. He last came in almost 30 laps ago. Came in at lap number 38. Oh, we have contact. The number 43 and RJ Williams. Brian Mayhew and RJ Williams almost wrecked coming off of turn 4. You saw in the corner of your screen right there. You see Elliott Henderson on pit road. RJ Williams able to keep it straight and almost got into the bottom wall. The number 21 of RJ Williams. Been a very eventful day for him as he's come from the back to around mid-pack, and then because of strategy, got himself into the top 10. And now with the next cycle of pit stops in play, he came in really early. He has a way different strategy than anybody else. Like, there's a lot of different strategies, but RJ Williams isn't like on another planet when it comes to strategy right now. He's trying to find himself into victory lane as RJ Williams has a lot of speed, but put down a very not good lap time. I'll say. Had a lot of struggles during qualifying, as a lot of drivers actually did. Hunter Madalinas gotten up into the wall on his qualifying run. Jake Miller spun out and hit the wall on his qualifying run. So a lot of issues during qualifying for a lot of these guys. And RJ Williams is trying to find his way to the front through strategy in that number 21 machine. Getting past Fritz on the high side. Stagner has now taken the race lead in the number 64 machine as Jake Miller has made his second pit stop. Came in a little earlier this time as he only had around 30 laps on his tires as he came in around a lap ago in the number 4 machine. Stagner has the race lead, getting some bonus points up there leading the field. Sounds like Sensi, your points leader, is going to come down pit road this time by. Everyone once again on different strategies. So how will the pit cycle come out this time? Who will be your race leader? As we're a little past halfway, so these guys are going to have to make at least one more stop after this one. As these guys can make it around 35 laps on a tank of fuel. Watching Jake Miller very possibly could cycle back out as the race leader in the number 4 machine, as he's been the fastest guy pretty much all day. Him and Aaron Duclos have had a lot of speed here today. DJ Stagner still out on the racetrack in the number 64 machine, still leading the field. Really hoping for a caution in the number 64 machine, as only the top 17 guys right now are on the lead lap. So that would be huge if the caution came out right now. Lawson trying to get his lap back. He's going to pass Stagner on the outside. Stagner still stays out as he drives past pit road once again in the number 64 machine. Stagner is yet to pit. Matthew Durr is yet to pit. Ross Brockman, Curtis Granger. A lot of drivers have yet to come down pit road, really hoping on a caution, as we only have a few guys on the lead lap. So this would be huge if the caution came out right now. And no one's going to be able to get the wave around really either, because Jake Miller is on the lead lap in the 8th spot. So this could really change up the race if we got a caution right now. Watch the number 21 of RJ Williams. This strategy is really working wonders for him right now. So out of the drivers that have came down pit road, RJ Williams is currently in the 4th spot right now out of the drivers that have came down pit road. So RJ Williams really working that strategy as much as he can. Gonna see if Stagner is gonna come down pit road this time. The number 64 once again stays out. The number 64 in that Alabama Roll Tide machine, having a great day after a very bad start. RJ Williams trying to make up as much time as he can while he still has semi-fresh tires. A lot of drivers still have yet to make that pit stop. Matthew Durr, Hunter Madalinas, Brandon Neffel, Curtis Granger, Ross Brockman, DJ Stagner have yet to still make their stops. As I say that, the number 93 of Brandon Neffel, our 4th place drivers coming down pit road this time by. Brandon needing a good run in the number 93 machine. Stagner once again stays out in the number 64 as you saw him drive past pit road. Jake Miller driving the wheels off that number 4 machine. Right now, it would cycle it back to him as the race leader, as he has a pretty healthy lead over Duclos, as he's 5 seconds in front of Duclos, and Duclos is 1 second in front of Henderson, and Henderson is 2 seconds in front of Williams and Cottle. Miller looking once again to lead the most laps here today and get some bonus points, but also come home with the victory here today. Stagner once again staying out that time by. He's about to come back around. I'm going to see if he's going to come down pit road. As I'm hearing on the radio, Hunter Madalinas is going to make his pit stop. Stagner once again drives past pit road, really just hoping and praying on a caution right now, because a caution would be huge for Stagner, as there's only 12 guys right now on the lead lap. There's only 12 drivers on the lead lap, so that could just really change this race up completely. You see Madalinas come down pit road in the number 9, a little fast coming onto the entry. Not sure if he was speeding or not. He pulls into the pit box cleanly. Jake Miller has moved himself up to 4th through the stops. Stagner and Brockman and Granger still right in front of him. Granger has been pulling this strategy all day so far. This is the longest I've seen Stagner stay out. And Brockman stayed out quite a while this time as well. Last time Brockman came down pit road was lap number 42. So it's been almost 40 laps since we saw Brockman come down pit road. Jake Miller is approaching very quick on these guys as he's driving around 2 seconds a lap quicker. So he's approaching really fast on these guys, and he should pass them pretty quickly. Stagner still stays out. Once again, drives past pit road. This top 3 really pushing their limits. At this point, I'm more worried about them blowing a tire than running out of gas. Especially Stagner, because Stagner is really slowing on the racetrack, almost getting into the wall right there. These guys are really buying on a caution. Stagner out here leading laps, though, in the number 64 machine. He has a really quick car. If he gets a caution, he's definitely in the conversation to win this race, because he has a very fast car. Just did not have the luck he needed when it came to the grid. And right when I say that, it's the caution. The caution flag is out. Oh my gosh. And the craziness is happening now. This is when things get very crazy, as there's only 16 guys on the lead lap. I'm going to try to figure out what the caution was for, but DJ Stagner, the strategy really works out for him, and Curtis Granger and Ross Brockman, as these guys stayed out as long as they could. And now that here we go. We're going to get the replay. It looks like the number 48, Delgado, spun it around. Not sure if he got help or not in the number 48 machine. Looks like he comes off pit road here. Looking at the number 48 machine here. Oh, here we go. Looks like he's already in mid-wreck right there. Not sure if he lost it on his own or not. He was running around 25th before the accident. Here we go. This should be it right here. The number 48 of Delgado. He just loses it. Just gets it sideways. He just turns it up in the wall. And there it is. Your first caution of the day. Second caution of the day. I mean, very, very timely caution for Stagner and Brockman and Granger as well, because a lot of these guys already have a couple laps on their tires and there hasn't been any cautions, so they're going to have enough sets of tires, so might as well come in and get fresh tires. So this is going to change up the lineup, and you're going to have to see Jake Miller fight. You're going to have to see Aaron Duclos fight. You're going to see some pretty heavy battles here, as this race is going to get real exciting with around 40 laps to go here in Homestead, Miami. Stagner must be happy. I can't imagine how he's feeling. Fantastic from Stagner. Very great strategy from him. And then RJ Williams as well, because he'll finally be even with these guys on tires. So great strategy from him, because he's gotten himself up here in the top 10. Very impressive run from a lot of these guys. A lot of guys that needed runs. This next run is going to get real interesting from what I'm hearing, because when we go green flag racing here, they're going to be just outside the fuel window. So should see some interesting strategy out there. Maybe some guys coming in with a lap or two under green flag and just getting a dash of fuel, or waiting until the last few laps. Maybe even some guys only driving around 80% around the racetrack, just trying to save possibly 2-3 laps of fuel to get themselves to the end. I was mentioning earlier, our Homestead has these fuel strategy races sometimes. Sounds like today will be one of those days, as strategy is really going to come into play. I'm watching some guys coming onto pit road, possibly topping off some fuel. I'm not gonna be surprised at all seeing some of these guys try to drive all the way to the end. Someone like Curtis Granger, who might not have quite the speed, but the strategy that he pulls and the IQ he has put himself up here in the top 5. Someone like him I can definitely expect trying to save enough fuel to get himself to the finish. With someone like maybe Sensi or Jake Miller who has just the fastest truck out there, and Sensi who's really just trying to get as many points as he can, being the points leader coming into today. I don't expect them to try to make that run. It would really hurt them more than it helps them, as Jake Miller might win this race anyway, no matter if he comes in or not. He might win this race anyway, as he is the fastest truck out there. We saw a lot of guys get the wave around right there. We're going to get green flag this time by, as the lights are out here on the pace car. This should be a great restart. Stagner's going to lead him down. He chose the inside line. Curtis Granger on his high side. Ross Brockman right behind him. Ross looking to take over the points lead. And Jake Miller, who's been the strongest guy today, the self-proclaimed champion, trying to get himself the victory at Homestead this time around. And Duclos and Elliott Henderson right there in the third row. Don't count either of them out. Pace car pulls off, and Stagner leads him to the green flag. Granger in the 07 right behind him. Jake Miller going to try to follow him. Ross Brockman not going to give up the spot that easily. It's really hard to take off on that high side here at Homestead. Ross Brockman holding tough, at least to Elliott Henderson. Miller really sets it in there. Whoa, what a move! Oh my goodness, that was one of the greatest moves I've ever seen. And Granger tries to save it, and he does. The number 4 of Jake Miller just completely sent it in there and timed it perfectly, got right in front of Granger. You could have put a magazine in between those two cars and then try to get past Stagner on the high side. The number 4 sticks to his outside. Jake Miller. Stagner, after having the issues on the grid, he's got himself back up here battling for the lead because of strategy, and he's looking to hold tough on the inside. Gets a little loose off the exit, and Miller's going to clear him because of it. Jake Miller back to the lead in the number 4 machine as he breaks the draft on the straightaway. Barbagelata and Granger battling it out. Granger's falling fast in the number 07 machine. Got to wonder if maybe he flat spotted his tires when he almost spun out there off 4 a couple laps ago, because he is falling fast in the number 07 machine as he's already in the 13th place. Stagner, you're watching right there. Eric Kepf, we haven't mentioned him all day. I've talked about how Eric Kepf sometimes doesn't quite have quite the speed, but he's possibly the smartest guy out there on the racetrack. He's gotten himself up here battling for a top 10 spot. Kepf right now in the 12th position, right behind 11th and 10th place of Barbagelata and Aston Lawson. Lawson, whoa, Barbagelata blocking him all over the racetrack. Twisting over my words right there. Barbagelata, that was an insane block on Lawson. A lot of excitement for Mr. Excitement there. Oh, and there's a wreck, Granger. Oh, man. Curtis Granger, looks like the, oh, man, is that the number 39 of Justin Mons? Justin. I feel so bad for Justin. He was running in the top 5 almost the whole race. Needed a great run. He sounded very upset on the radio as he got wrecked right there. Not sure what happened. It looks like something happened with Granger and another driver on the racetrack in front of him. And Mons just got caught up in it. Ah, man, I feel for the number 39. Because of the way the strategy worked out, it put him a little farther back in the pack. We're going to get the replay here. Yeah, Granger just gets it loose, tries to save it. And it looks like Mons tried to fit in between him and Woodall. I would have to maybe see a different view. But it looks like the 39 and the 13 might have gotten together and then got into Granger. Here we go. It looks like Granger gets it sideways. Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. It looks like Justin might have tried to get around them both and might have gotten into the 13 a little bit, which then got the 13 into the number 07 and caused that incident. Just drivers driving hard, trying to get as many positions and points as they can here at Homestead. Watching the in-car right here. Woo! Very close. Bare-knuckled you saw there too. No gloves. The number 39, Justin. Oh man, I just feel for him so much. As your leaders are making pit stops. Very interested to see if maybe we see right side tires only this time. These guys can make it the rest of the way, I'm thinking, from here. So very interested to see if some of these guys maybe take only right side tires. It's only been a couple laps since these guys came down pit road. Going to be watching the exit of pit road. See, he's going to be the first one out. And it's going to be the number 4, Miller. Elliott Henderson right behind him. Then Stagner, Ross Brockman. And it looks like Duclos edged out Nanny for the next spot. We're going to get a exciting last run to the finish, as we're going to have around 30 laps to go when we go green. So these guys can make it. These guys can make it the rest of the way on fuel. So interested to see if some guys are going to try to go really hard at the beginning of this run, as this might be the last restart of the day. Jake Miller, your race leader, in the class of the field today. But right behind him, the number 36 of that all-black machine, Is Elliott Henderson looking to repeat from last season? Elliott Henderson stole this victory away from Jake Miller last season, and he's looking to do it again. We're going to try to get you a replay from some wild moves from Jake Miller on that last restart, trying to get himself back to the front. Jake Miller in the number 4. Let's watch this. Watch this move that I was talking about. Woo! Oh my gosh. I don't know how he fit it in there. Curtis Granger, possibly even reacting to what happened, almost spins it off the corner. But just an insane move from Jake Miller has put him in a great position to win this race late. Damn. Tough to hear it, Justin. But thank you for commenting. You were running great all day, and very disappointing to see you wreck out there. Yeah, Justin Mon's really needing a great run here today. Running strong all day, running in the top 10 all day, and running in the top 5 most of the day after a good qualifying run. Involved in that last incident with the number 07 of Curtis Granger. The Giant Tiger 200. Very exciting here today. We're going to go green flag racing with around 30 laps to go here in the Giant Tiger 200. This has been an awesome race, and I would love to see Giant Tiger sponsor some more events here. Go to Giant Tiger. If you're in Canada, at least. Wish I was in Canada so I can go to a Giant Tiger right now. Never been to a Menards either because I'm not in the Midwest, so I got some trips planned. It looks like we're going to go green flag racing this time by as the lights are out on the pace car. The number 4 of Jake Miller has picked the high side this time, which means Elliott Henderson will restart down low on row number 1. Right behind him is Stagner and Ross Brockman. And then at row number 3 is Duclos and Daniel Nanny. Daniel Nanny dominated the beginning portion of this race. And ever since Miller got into his rear bumper, the truck hasn't been quite the same. Been riding around the 5th spot ever since. Maybe try to get himself back up there to Miller. Pace car's about to pull off, and we're going to go green flag racing here at Homestead. Possibly the last restart today. But you know what they say. Cautions breed cautions, so we can definitely see a lot more cautions here today. Jake Miller gets off to a good restart. Ross Brockman did not look like he was ready on the outside of row number 2. Henderson will clear him. Man, it looks like Stagner will clear him going into turn number 1. Jake Miller looking to check out on Henderson. Aaron Duclos trying to get himself back into position. Gets himself into 5th. Got a battle for the 6th spot. Looks like Barbagelata and the number 13 of Josh Cottle battling it out for 7th. Oh, someone gets sideways. It looks like Henderson, the number 36, almost spun it off the corner. A great save. He's trying to get himself up to Jake Miller and just pushed it a little bit too hard on those cold tires coming off turn 4. Great save from the number 36 machine, making his first start of the season. And what I call the superstar car, that number 36 machine for 2511 racing. Elliott Henderson gonna get back in front of Ross Brockman here and put himself back into the 3rd spot. Stagner is in the 2nd spot now in that Roll Tide machine. Not too far behind these guys. You see that bright green machine. There he is. William Barbagelata, Mr. Excitement. Late in this race, I expect a lot of crazy moves out of him. Barbagelata trying to get on the outside of Duclos. Duclos looking to follow Nanny where he goes. Nanny's going to try to get under Ross Brockman. And Sean Hayes making a move to the outside. He's finally gotten himself up here and battling with these guys. Been running in the top 15 most of the day after starting near the back. Now he's throwing his hat into the ring as he's going to get under Barbagelata and try to get under Duclos even. Great move from the number 1 of Sean Hayes. Driving that windshield deep machine, it looks like. The number 1 trying to get under Duclos. Duclos cuts him off and gets under Brockman. And Hayes is sideways. The number 1 is in the wall hard. He wrecks. And he's flying. He's flying. It's Olympics. You guys ready for the Tokyo Olympics? Because I just saw some gymnastics from the number 1. Oh, man. You hate to see it. Oh, man. You hate to see it. Number 1 of Hayes. Ah, man. The commentator curse has returned. Let's talk about how well he was doing coming from the back, and now he's finally here in contention. And there goes his chances of winning here today. Got a feel for Hayes. But at least he has a very elusive Olympic career ahead of him. Because that was a lot of cartwheels. You see, yeah, the wall just kind of grabs him right there, and then he just kind of gets hit right there. And then just goes flying around like a beach ball. Definitely disappointing to see the 1 car out when he's finally up here competing with these guys. Had one of the fastest cars here today for sure. Jake Miller is not happy on the radio. Just listening to him. Not happy at all on the radio. Telling everybody to stop explicative wrecking. Stop beep wrecking. You can think what he's saying there. Jake Miller drove out to a pretty good lead on Stagner there. And the caution came out. Like I said, cautions breed cautions. We can definitely see some more cautions now because we're going to go green flag with 20 laps to go. So this aggression level is really going to kick up. It's really going to kick up here. Elliott Henderson there in the 3rd spot. I would expect him to get very aggressive with Stagner because Henderson, I feel like, has the 2nd or 3rd quickest vehicle right now. And I think Duclos is faster than Henderson possibly. But he's been hanging around that 5th spot for a good amount of time. He needs a long run to really get his lap times up. But I don't think we're going to get that long of a run this time. Like I said, we're going to go green flag with around 20 laps to go. Before that caution, we had maybe around 4 green flag laps. So the tire, right when the long run speed's going to kick in for Duclos, the checkered flag will be coming out. So you watch another view. Looks like the in-car of Mr. Pink, Eric Kepf, getting through the accident right there. Another in-car view. You just watch that truck fly high. And we're hoping to get the 1 to go this time by. Maybe get some more green flag racing here in Miami. I'd like to mention next week will be really exciting. We'll be on the Bristol Dirt. Wow. So all y'all should tune in for that. It'll be the same time. Bristol Dirt should be a lot of fun. And then also if you tune into the Cup Series at all, we'll be at Kentucky on Thursday, same time, but it will also be in the next gen car this time around. So that will be awesome to see the next gen car at Kentucky, as it's one of the 3 events. Yeah, I think it's 3 events. 3 events for the next gen car, or actually 4 events for the next gen car in the season. The other 2 events that they will still run will be Auto Club Speedway in week number 8 and Circuit of the Americas in week number 9. But once again, next Tuesday, Bristol Dirt. Watch these trucks get dirty. Coming off the hype of this weekend's Knoxville truck race. That's going to be exciting to watch. I'm so excited for Knoxville trucks. But we got 1 to go. 1 to go here for this caution. Jake Miller chose the low line this time. Interesting decision from Jake Miller. Stagner's going to start on his outside. Well, actually, no, I'm really thinking about it. I don't know if this is necessarily an interesting decision. I think he's trying to keep Elliott Henderson behind him. I think Elliott Henderson might be his biggest threat for the win right now. So his best spot would be right in front of Elliott Henderson. The number 4 of Jake Miller possibly thinking ahead right now. Jake Miller going to get the green flag this time by. Pace car's about to pull off. And we're going to go green flag racing with 23 laps to go. Pace car pulling off. Jake Miller and DJ Stagner are going to lead him to the green flag. Green flag is out. Miller off to a good restart. Nanny got off to a fantastic restart. Basically pushed Stagner down the front stretch. But Elliott Henderson's going to clear him going into turn 1. Elliott Henderson, but I don't think he's going to come up, no? Very questionable from Henderson. Henderson was definitely clear of Stagner, but gave Stagner the space off the corner, and they will continue to battle for that second spot. And Henderson gets it loose on the inside going into 3 a little bit. Loses some time, and Stagner gets a little tight off the exit, and these guys continue to battle, and now Nanny's trying to put his nose into the battle. Daniel Nanny, last week's winner, this week's pole sitter, led the early amount of this race. Got bumped by Jake Miller earlier. I would love to see if Nanny can get back up to Jake Miller, what he'd do. Nanny's moving into the 3rd spot. Oh, got into the side of Stagner. He doored him going into 3. And Stagner will fall in behind him. Daniel Nanny getting a little bit aggressive there with Stagner. Now he sets his sights on Henderson. Daniel Nanny in the number 30 machine. Trying to get as many points as possible. Trying to get back up to Jake Miller. Some heavy battling back there for the 6th and 7th spot. Look who's entered the top 10. Hello, Hunter Madalinas. Wow. Great run for the number 9 machine. Finally got himself up to the top 10 with 20 laps to go. And looking like he has a lot of speed as he's going to try to get past Cottle on the outside. And Lawson's going to try to make it 3 wide going into turn 1. 3 wide here. Lawson, Cottle, Madalinas putting on some great racing here. Cottle feels a little squeezed off the corner. Great racing from Cottle. And Madalinas will clear of Josh Cottle going into 3 and 4, and he cuts down on Lawson. And Lawson slides up the track a little bit. Cottle and him get real close, but no contact. Not missing anything up in the front as Miller continues to pull away from Elliott Henderson. Putting a couple hundredths on him a lap. Not pulling away much, but putting a little distance between them. It's kind of singled out most of this time. And there's a caution. Oh, Jake Miller. Jake Miller must be slamming his wheel right now, as there is another caution out on the speedway. It looks like it looks like Lewis Woodall got involved in that one. A blown motor from the number 13 machine. Got a feel for Lewis. Lewis has had a lot of troubles at the beginning of the season, a lot of incidents, and today was probably the first race where Lewis ran a perfect race. He was running in the top 10 all day, did great on pit stops. He was running strong all day, and has this issue late. Very disappointing for the number 13 machine. So we're going to get a replay here for you. Watching Lewis coming down the front stretch. And it looks like the 44 just sent it in there on the number 13 of Woodall, and he just hits the wall really hard. Oh, I think it's hit after the fact. Couldn't make out who that was. Looks like just kind of spun him around right there. Got a feel for Woodall. Man, Lewis Woodall had a great day. And it's up in flames right now, or up in smoke in this case. Got the wall really hard. Got rear-ended right there. I think that might have been Niswanger. I'm not quite sure. As the leaders are on pit road, possibly for the last pit stop. We're going to have around 15 laps to go when we go green flag racing. Very interested to see if maybe some drivers stayed out, because it's been a couple laps. It's only been a couple laps since the last caution. Maybe some guys that came on that last caution could possibly have stayed out. So this should be really interesting. I'm thinking it looks like Gavin Fitzgerald actually. Gavin Fitzgerald, number 14, has actually stayed out. It looks like Ross Brockman has stayed out. So this should get pretty interesting. Briar Fritz, the number 77, has stayed out. Michael Levine has stayed out. couple of drivers have stayed out here, and this should be pretty insane racing as these guys are on slightly older tires. Gavin really putting himself in a great position, I feel like, right now. Him and Ross, because both of them came in on that last caution flag. Ross Brockman's been driving in the top 10 as of late. Ross Brockman looking to take the points lead. And Gavin Fitzgerald has definitely had his struggles today, unfortunately. But I've seen a lot of speed out of that number 14 machine. Number 14 of Gavin Fitzgerald trying to win for Giant Tiger, as this is the Giant Tiger 200. This would be amazing for Gavin Fitzgerald to get the job done. Strategy has really put him in a great position. Briar Fritz has actually also pit on the last yellow. And Michael Levine actually came down that last time. So the top three all came in on that last caution. So they have only 4 or 5 laps old tires. Fritz has a little bit of, all three of these guys actually have a little bit of damage as well. So very interesting to see how that may affect them compared to drivers like Elliott Henderson and Jake Miller who don't have any damage. Elliott Henderson was the first off of pit road. Jake Miller was second off pit road. Nanny was third. Then you have Stagner, and Hunter Madalinas has gotten himself up there. He was the 5th guy off pit road in that number 9 machine. He could really be like a Kevin Harvick right now, and he can be the closer of this series. He's really closed in fast on these guys. Looking to see if we're going to get the one to go this time by, and we will. Ross Brockman is going to pick the inside, it looks like, in the number 52 Rowdy Energy machine, which will force Gavin Fitzgerald to the high side. Briar Fritz, the other guy that stayed out, he's in third. Would be great to see Briar Fritz do well here at the end here. He's had his struggles to start the season, and he's had his struggles even just today. But he's put himself in a great position to get a top 10, maybe even a top 5 here late. Elliott Henderson, the first guy on fresh tires, in 4th. And then Jake Miller has been the strongest guy all day in the 5th spot. Jake Miller really hoping he doesn't get another win here at Homestead stolen from him. Dominated the race here last year. Had some issues during pit stops, ended up losing the race to the driver in 4th, Elliott Henderson. Once again, it might be Miller versus Henderson once again here in Homestead. Pace car is going to pull off this time by. We're going to go green flag racing with 14 laps. 14 laps to go here at Homestead, Miami. Pace car's off. Ross Brockman will lead him down to the green flag. And a great restart from Ross and Briar. Briar was really expecting him to go right there. Wonder if there was some chatter on the radio between them two. Briar Fritz is right there and Elliott Henderson right behind him. The Toyotas are on the move. Elliott Henderson with those 4 fresh tires moves himself into the 3rd spot. I know some... Oh, there's a huge wreck in the back. Oh my gosh, a lot of destroyed race cars. Mark Benda is involved in it, looks like. The number 60. The number 49 of Shane Neiswanger. Oh my goodness, a lot of torn up trucks here. Ross Brockman was the leader at moment of caution. So he will lead the field down for the next restart as we'll go green flag with under 10 laps to go next time. Oh man. We're going to try to get your replay on that one. And that was an insane accident. Looking at Jordan Gonzalez, looks like he got some damage from that incident as well, as he got some quarter panel damage, the number 3. We're going to be watching the number 44 of Tyler McClellan. He went really early. Went really early right there. Not sure if he even beat, it looks like, Huerta to the line. Watching the number 07, Curtis Granger on the outside. Tyler just slides up a little bit right there, gets sideways, and just overcorrects it straight into the wall. Look, Sensi might have even gotten a piece of that as well. A lot of torn up trucks right here. The number 60 came flying through there. A lot of damage to him as well. A lot of destroyed trucks on that incident. You got to feel for some of these guys, especially someone like Sensi, who's out here just trying to get as many points as he can. And the number 92 machine coming into this race is the points leader. Nice Wonger as well, coming into this race tied for second in points. And Ross Brockman tied for second in points. Guess what? He's your race leader with under 10 laps to go. This could be a huge day for Ross. Huge. This could be the biggest day of the season for him. Coming into this race, only 6 points outside the points lead. Tied for second with Nicewanger. Both Nicewanger and Sensi were involved in that last incident. And now Ross is your race leader with only a couple laps to go. He's on slightly older tires than Henderson, Jake Miller, and drivers on back. But him, Breyer, and Gavin Fitzgerald aren't on that old tires either. So I know that Ross is definitely going to be putting up a fight when it comes to Elliott Henderson and Jake Miller. So I would not count him out at all for this victory here today. A lot of words being spoken on the radio, by the way. Definitely some tempers. Elliott Henderson, we're going to look at here. Elliott Henderson. Let's see what happens to him on this restart. He makes a good move on Fitzgerald. He's trying to get to Fritz going into turn 1, but wasn't quite close enough. But a great move from the number 36 in his first start of the season to get himself in a good position to possibly win this race here late. Yeah, I think we have 2 laps to go. Should expect the lights to go out on the pace car next time by. Interested to see which lane the number 52 of Ross Brockman will pick this time. He picked the low side last time by and forced Fitzgerald to the high side. I would expect him to take the low side again, as I think we're going to get green flag with around 9 laps to go here at Homestead Miami Speedway. Elliott Henderson and Jake Miller are the drivers to watch in 3rd and 4th. Elliott Henderson won the race last season here. Jake Miller led the most laps here today and led the most laps last season. So those are the 2 guys really to watch. Daniel Nanny, don't keep him out of mind as well. He dominated the beginning portion of this race. And then Hunter Madalinas, he's came on late, and he's right there in 8th position. And I know Hunter Madalinas is willing to get aggressive. So I can definitely see him competing up here, especially if Jake Miller and Elliott Henderson get a little held up by Breyer and Ross. We're going to really see the tire difference on this next restart. We weren't able to really see it last time as they only got around a half lap of green flag. Around a half a lap from green flag racing. Might be the last restart here as we're going to get the green flag with 9 laps to go. Here for the Great Lakes Truck Series presented by Paddy Engineering. The Giant Tiger 200. The telemetry from today is brought to you by SDK Gaming, by the way. And the cameras, the custom cameras, are brought to you by Track Cams for Gourmets. For all your custom cameras needs, go to trackcams22.com. And Ross is going to lead him down. The number 52 Rowdy Energy Machine. The whole front 2 rows. Pure Toyotas. And the pace car pulls off. Ross is going to lead him down. And the green flag is out. Ross gets off to a great restart, but Jake Miller's right there. And Henderson gets held up by Breyer Fritz badly. Oh, and that had to be painful for Henderson. Jake Miller is going to take over the 2nd spot. And he sets his sights on Ross Brockman. And now all Elliott Henderson can do is hope that Ross holds on to this lead as strong as he can. Fritz not giving up on the inside as he's still down low on Elliott Henderson. Jake Miller right there on Ross Brockman, coming to 8 laps to go here in Homestead. And here comes Madalinas trying to get himself into the top 5. Looks like we have a car in the wall right there. Caution's out. Caution's out on the speedway. Looks like Stagner in the wall. The number 64 rolled right into the wall right there. Very disappointing for the 64. Looking to maybe get you a replay on that incident. We had a couple of cars get into it, it looks like right there. You know, it looks like there was 2 separate incidents here. Looks like a driver got loose off the corner and got sideways and spun it off the racetrack. And then Stagner just hit the wall off the corner. Here we are going to get another look at it. Able to keep it straight. Great job right there. This is the most vocal I've ever heard the radio here today, by the way. It's the most vocal radio. Ross Brockman gonna have to hold on for another caution flag here. This was clean most of the day. Ran green flag almost the whole first half of this race. Only had 1 caution the whole first half. Then we had a caution around halfway. And we've had 5 cautions since that second caution. So it's been a very interesting second half to the race. And it's really, really gonna make this ending very exciting as you have Jake Miller with the freshest tires in second. And we're gonna look at DJ Stagner in the number 64 machine. See how he got into the wall here. Looks like Stagner might have gotten a little help from Fitzgerald. Nope. He was able to actually keep it off. It looks like Fitzgerald might have taken a little bit of air off the 64 though. Came up into his line a little bit and upset that 64 truck, and the 64 truck got up into the wall. Very disappointing for Stagner, who's worked all day to get himself back up there in the front after having a great qualifying run, but having a lot of issues with this vehicle on the grid. Had to go to the back and worked his way back to the front, and now he's back in the backs late in this race. So it'll be very hard to see him getting very many positions here late. Disappointing for the 64 machine. And it looks like we're going to get green flag racing with around 4 laps to go. Ross Brockman is going to be your leader on this next restart. Jake Miller really trying to get the win this time. If I'm Jake Miller, I'm heated. I've dominated most of this race, and if there wasn't because of late race cautions, this race would probably already be over, and I'd be celebrating in victory lane with some champagne, talking to me in the booth. But the world isn't a perfect place for Jake Miller, but it might be a perfect place for Ross Brockman, as the strategy has put him here in the lead late. Breyer Fritz as well. Can't look past Breyer. Fantastic for him. Got to be happy for him. Breyer Fritz in the 3rd spot. Looking to get himself his first top 10 and possibly even his first top 5 of the year at that number 77 machine. 2 laps to go this time. So we'll get the 1 to go next time by. So we'll end up going green flag with 3 laps to go. Right outside the green-white checkered. And I think Brockman's going to take the high side. Oh, wait. Now I'm here on the radio. They're actually talking about it right now. The Ross has not decided. He's undecided right now if he wants the high side or the inside. I think it'll probably be a heat of the moment thing for him. Jake Miller, I know he's going to be working really hard on this restart, no matter if he's on the inside or the high side. He wants this win bad. And Elliott Henderson, he's literally talking on the radio right now. He's going to push somebody. Whoever he's behind, he's going to get pushed real hard, because I know Henderson wants to win this race as well. 1 to go this time by, and it looks like Ross Brockman has decided on the low side. Miller will take the high side, and Elliott Henderson will be right behind him. And right there, on that last restart, he was on the high side of row number 4. Now he's on the high side of row number 3. You know him. You love him. The number 9 of Hunter Madalinas. Really impressing here today at Homestead, as he's moved up 31 positions. Awesome run from the number 9 machine. I would love to even see Breyer Fritz steal a win away here. Ross Brockman and Jake Miller maybe get a little into it on this restart. Breyer Fritz drives on past and we keep it green. Fritz might be able to steal a victory away in that number 77 machine. This is really anyone's race right now. These late race restarts cause a lot of chaos. A lot of hard driving. Pace car is going to pull it off. Coming out of 4 this time. Ross Brockman in the number 52 is going to lead him down. Pace car's off. Ross Brockman leads him to the green flag. A fantastic restart from the 52. Miller and Elliott were ready, though, on the high side. 3 laps to go. Ross has to hold these guys off for 3 laps. Breyer Fritz fighting tough on the inside, not giving up the second spot. Madalenas right behind him. Madalenas making move, and there's a huge wreck off turn 2. Cremines, Duclos is flipping. Aw, man. Oh, and someone's not happy there. It looks like Kep isn't happy with somebody. Number 63, Eric Kep, pushing somebody down to the inside wall there. Huge accident here late. It looked like it was actually number 87 of Kyle Hall he wasn't happy with. Matthew Durr you saw around. You saw a lot of drivers. Oh, my gosh. And we're going to get a green-white checkered, first of 3. Like I said, these late race cautions cause chaos. A lot of angry people in here right now. The only one that's not angry, that number 52 of Ross Brockman, as he still holds the race lead. We're going to take a look at the replay right here. Looking at the number 87 of Kyle Hall. Kyle Hall needing a good run after a slow start to the season in the number 87 machine. You see him right there behind Huerta and Eric Kep in the number 63. It looks like he gets a little into Huerta right there, but they keep it good. Then the trouble comes off the corner. Looks like we're a lap short on the incident here. Watching Eric Kep, the number 63 and the number 87 of Kyle Hall to see what happened. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I think this should be the right replay for you here. And I apologize for our bot. Our bot be going AWOL sometimes. I apologize for him. It looks like Duclos and the 41 of Matthew Durr get together. It looks like Kep might have avoided the accident, but it looks like Kyle Hall got a little into his right side door. And Eric Kep was not happy about that. We're going to watch from Breyer Fritz in the number 77. Great restart for him, by the way. He really fought tough on that inside and was able to hold on to the 3rd spot. Duclos here. He gets a little loose and comes down into Matthew Durr. And then it's just chaos from beyond there. And Curtis Granger, you watched him in the 07. What a fantastic save from him. Really keeps himself in the race here. Great job from the 07 machine. You got to feel for Duclos, who really needed a good run here today. And in my opinion, had the 2nd fastest car here today besides Jake Miller. Jake Miller had the quickest car, but Duclos, I'd say, had the 2nd quickest car. And just very disappointing. And you're watching the onboard with Marshall Wilson here as he barely avoids that. Great wreck avoidance. Awesome job from Wilson. Awesome. The number 85 machine able to keep on trucking. Eric Kep, Mr. Pink. You're going to see his inboard. See what maybe happened between him and Kyle Hall from a first-hand perspective. You see him slowing down for the wreck. I'm not sure what happened between him and Kyle Hall. Not sure if maybe he got a little help from behind or he got a little into the door. It was really hard to tell from the replay angles what happened between them. But Eric Kep obviously not happy with the number 87 machine after the incident. Like I said, this will be the first of 3 possible green-white checkered attempts. Ross Brockman will lead them down to the green flag. Jake Miller will either be on the high side or the inside, depending on where Brockman picks. If I were Brockman, I would take the high side. 120%, I would take the high side. I don't want both Jake Miller and Elliott Henderson up on my high side. I really don't want that. Because if Jake Miller is ready for Ross's restart this time, there's a good chance that Ross could get passed by Miller and Henderson. It looks like Brockman's going to stick to the inside, though. The number 52 of Ross Brockman will pick the inside. Jake Miller will start outside. Briar Fritz in third. Elliott Henderson in fourth. And Madalinas has moved himself up to the fifth spot. Madalinas is starting behind Briar Fritz as well. Fritz didn't get off to the greatest restart, but he really drove it hard through turns 1 and 2 and really played it tough. But I would be very interested to see if Madalinas maybe makes this 3 wide going into turn 1. Madalinas has been very aggressive and very strong on these restarts here today. Possibly the final restart, but I've said that the last 3 cautions, so what do I know? Pace car's going to pull down. Coming out of 4. Brockman has the inside. Miller and Henderson are up on the high side. Henderson already given Miller a little bit of a bump, letting him know he's going to push him. And there goes the number 52 of Brockman, and the number 4 Miller was not ready for that one at all. And Nanny's going to almost make it 3 wide. Whoa, contact between Nanny and Henderson. Looks like Henderson turned into his door a little bit on entry. And Fritz is going to, what a move! Briar Fritz! Oh, man, great save, though. And he blocks Madalinas, and they're wrecking. They're all wrecking behind Brockman. A huge accident. Madalinas pulls out in second. The green flag stays out for some reason. They keep it going. Brockman going to get 2 to go. And the caution's out. Right before Brockman hits the line. I don't know what happened there. Oh, my goodness. I think the flagman might have fallen asleep. And the engine might have woken him up when they came back around. Because the caution came out right before they hit the line. A lot of drivers very curious, concerned on the radio. But the caution did come out. Brockman is your race leader. And Hunter Madalinas. You know him. You love him. Hunter Madalinas in second place. That's my pick. That's my pick right there. Hunter Madalinas. Oh dear is right. You just saw all the great drivers of today wreck. And now we're going to have to pick this apart piece by piece. Looks like Nanny blocking Madalinas coming into the corner right here. And then Fritz with an insane move. A great slide job on Miller right there. But then gets sideways. And then saves it. And then Nanny gets him in the bumper. And then it's just chaos after that. Everyone just wrecks after that. Very disappointing. A lot of great trucks destroyed. A lot of days done. Miller's chances of winning today up in smoke once again. Elliott Henderson was looking to repeat. He will not. Daniel Nanny, the pole sitter who led the early part of this race, won't win. Oh my goodness. That was the craziest one yet. Cautions breed cautions. All starting from Briar Fritz making a great move right there, but wasn't quite able to hang on to it. And then mayhem ensued. Nanny and Miller was able to keep the car pretty clean, but really, really hard on the brakes right there. So flat spotted his tires and came down pit road. Minor damage to the number 4. But he's not going to be able to be in contention for this win as we were so late in the event. But look who's in third. Barbagelata, William Barbagelata and the number 27. Mr. Excitement. These are the drivers I love to watch the most up here near the front. Ross Brockman, Hunter Madalinas, William Barbagelata, Gavin Fitzgerald, Curtis Granger. You have a very exciting top 5 up there. And this should get very interesting. I would not be surprised if we have to go to a third green-white checkered here. I think we got the 2 to go that last time by. Interesting. We're going to see if Brockman picks the inside or the high side. We're going to take another look at this insanity that happened. You watch Hunter on the inside right there. Nanny really throwing some hard blocks on him on the inside. Briar Fritz really pulled a great move on Jake Miller here, but just got it a little bit loose off the corner and wasn't quite able to hang on to it. But Nanny looked like he got into his bumper a little bit once he almost saved it, and it was just complete mayhem after that. All the drivers we've been talking about all day are gone. They're out of contention. It's Brockman versus Madalinas, Barbagelata, Fitzgerald, and Granger. Most of these guys haven't even been in the top 10 all day. Barbagelata was in the top 5 in the early portion of today, but because of strategy, it put him around 15th. Ross Brockman's been running around 10th most of the day. Hunter Madalena started in the back, only just got himself in the top 10 like 20, 30 laps ago. Gavin Fitzgerald has been to hell and back, and now he's here in 4th. Curtis Granger has been in the back most of the day, but because of strategy earlier, got himself up in the front, but then got himself involved in an incident, and now he's found himself back up here in the top 5. And don't give up hope, Briar Fritz fans, because Briar Fritz is right there in 6th. As he was able to keep it straight out of all those guys, he was the only one able to really keep it going, and he's in the 6th spot because of it. Only a half a lap to green flag racing here. Ross Brockman is going to lead him down to the green flag one more time. Hunter Madalinas, this is the highest position he's been all day. And now he's right here competing for the victory. And you know Gavin Fitzgerald and the Giant Tiger machine wants to win the Giant Tiger 200. Come on now. And the pace car is about to pull off here. Pace car is off. Ross Brockman will lead him to the green flag one more time. Green flag is out. Madalinas was ready for his restart, and he's going to be right on his bumper coming into 1 and 2. Barbagelata right there in 3rd. Fitzgerald not quite able to clear Granger going into 1. Brockman and Madalinas. Madalinas to his inside. The closer. The Great Lakes Truck Series version of the closer. Hunter Madalinas looking to clear Brockman off turn 4 as they're approaching the white flag. Will they make it? Granger sideways. He saves it. White flag is out for Madalinas. This race is now official. Brockman's going to send it into 1. He's not able to get to his bumper. Madalinas looked like he kind of avoided Ross in the corner there. Hunter Madalinas breaks the draft. Brockman to his high side. Madalinas versus Brockman. Will Brockman get the run off? No, he will not. And Hunter Madalinas, the closer, the number 9 machine, gets it done in Homestead. What a run. Barbagelata comes home 3rd. Gavin Fitzgerald, congratulations for the 4th. And Curtis Granger in 5th. This is the 2nd win of the season for Madalinas and his first on an oval. Great job from Hunter. Coming into this, I knew Hunter as a road course ringer, but these last few races, he's really proved himself on the ovals, and he got it done here. In a Kevin Harvick type of style. The closer, Hunter Madalinas. Congratulations to Madalinas. We'll try to get an interview with him here in a little bit as he's going to go do some donuts. Awesome job from the Monster Machine. I don't know how he did it. Right place, right time, kept his nose clean. Hunter Madalinas is your winner for Spectrum Racing. Great race from the number 9. Ross Brockman able to hold on to that 2nd spot. And William Barbagelata, after running in the top 5 early, able to get himself back up here in the top 5 and get a 3rd place position. And how about Hunter Brittle in 6th? Shout out to him. Kevin Waltler in 8th. DJ Stagner in 7th. Cremines in 10th. Briar Fritz in 9th. Some drivers you don't usually see up here in the top 10. Great runs from them. And now Hunter Madalinas is going to try to find victory lane. We're going to try to get you some interviews here soon. A fantastic race. We're going to give you the top 10 rundown real quick. Hunter Madalinas, your winner. Ross Brockman coming home 2nd. William Barbagelata coming home 3rd. Gavin Fitzgerald, our broadcast partner, coming home 4th. Curtis Granger, after his incident earlier, comes home 5th. Hunter Brittle, great run for him, 6th. DJ Stagner, 7th. Kevin Waltler, with the issues happening late, he was able to get himself into the top 10. Breyer Fritz, able to get himself a ninth place finish, able to hold himself in the top 10 after that late strategy. And then Frederick Means finishes out your top 10. Awesome race from these guys. Great job from Madalinas. We're we're gonna try to get you our top 3 here. We're gonna try to get you Barbagelata, Brockman, and Madalinas. See if we can get any of them up here in the booth. You know, I'm getting word that none of them are in Discord. So Madalinas, Brockman, Barbagelata, get your ass in the booth. Where y'all at? There's right when I say that, Barbagelata. Okay. So I think we're gonna get an interview with Mr. Excitement possibly first. Yeah, we're gonna get an interview with Hunter first. Nope, William. William Barbagelata, Kyle Short up in the booth. Great run out there today. Started off out there in the top 5 early and came back late and got yourself a 3rd place finish. What was going through your mind when you got stuck near the back when that caution came out halfway through?
Yeah, so first of all, I'm gonna say I don't really deserve a 3rd place finish. I feel like on the long runs I was so bad. As you guys can see, I was able to get to 2nd at the start, and then I was just going backwards from there. I couldn't figure it out. I had no clue what I was doing long runs, but yeah, I tried to do some pitch strategy, caution that we had done a long run, caution fell at a good time, and then yeah, I was a ways back there, but with when I pitted and cautions happened, I was able to slowly work my way up, and then that big wreck, that was just ridiculous. So I I would say I didn't deserve this, but I'll 100% take it.
Well, a great race, William. Always exciting to see you out there on the racetrack. I call you Mr. Excitement for a reason.
Mhm.
You came into this race second in points, so a great performance out there for you points wise, able to get yourself a top 3. And are you
Mhm.
looking forward to Bristol Dirt next week?
No,
No.
no, I was I I'm bad on dirt. I expect I have zero expectations. Good thing I've been up front for most of these races because I feel like it's going to be a bad points week next week. But thankfully with this finish here, it should lessen the damage of whatever might happen next week. But who knows? Maybe I'll run well. Who knows?
Yeah, great job keeping your car clean late and able to steal yourself a top 5. Thanks for talking to us up in the booth, William, and we'll see you next week on the dirt.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah, of course. Thanks, William. Now I think we're going to talk to our race winner, 2-time winner of the season, Hunter Madalinas. I call him the closer because he was Kevin Harvick today, closing in late. How'd you win that thing, Hunter?
I honestly don't know. We were in the back most of the race. It was really tough to pass where I really didn't think it was going to be. And I slowly was climbing, and then we got the cautions at the end. And I saw on that second to last restart that Brockman kind of was like really tight off the exit. So I knew there was a shot at it. And luckily, coming off of turn 2 there on the restart, he kind of slid up the track, so I was able to get to the inside. And boy, we were he was trying to, but I was luckily able to hold him off and win.
That was a great move, and you kept your car clean for the most part today. What was going through your mind on that last wreck where the guys that really dominated the day were all wrecked out? They wrecked right in front of you with Nanny and Miller. What was going through your mind during that?
Yeah, I was pushing Nanny down the back, and all I saw was Jake sideways and into Nanny right in front of me. And when I looked to the right, I saw Elliott was gone. So I was thinking to myself, I was like, "Oh my God, there's a shot at this win."
It was awesome watching you all day. I was keeping my eyes on you all day because I noticed that you started in the back. When I started commentating here, all I really know of you was that you're a road course ringer, but you've proved to me that you're really good on these ovals. You're great on these ovals. That is your second win on the season, and next week is the dirt. So road course ringer, oval ringer. Are you also a dirt guy too?
Not as much as I am on the asphalt, but hey, I'm gonna give it a shot and try and win that one as well.
Yeah, it was exciting watching you come through the field there late, and then once that last accident happened, I knew you had a great shot. It was awesome watching you race out there, Hunter, and we're excited to see you out there next week. And thanks for talking to us up in the booth.
Mhm.
Anybody you want to thank?
Um, Thanks to the GLTS community, y'all guys for broadcasting, and obviously the family.
Appreciate it, Hunter, and we hope to speak to you next week after the dirt.
Yes, sir. I'd love to do that.
Thanks, Hunter.
Thank you.
And I think we're gonna speak to Jake Miller here in a moment. Jake Miller leading the most laps here today, as he did last season. Very disappointing to not see him in victory lane here today after a late race incident. Actually, it looks like we're actually going to talk to Elliott Henderson first. Broadcast partner Elliott Henderson, you're usually up here in the booth broadcasting with me, but tonight was your first start of the season. How was it out there for you tonight?
Truck was pretty tight, honestly. It wasn't the most ideal situation, but I felt like after the first run and the couple pit stops we had, we were pretty solid. We were probably a top 3 truck. Maybe Duclos was probably a second place truck, and Jake was on kind of a different island there. But I felt like at the end that we probably had something. I needed Brockman to line up on the outside, and he just never did. And then that situation with Breyer was just what it is, hard racing. I could say 100 different things about it, but it doesn't really solve what happened tonight. So as a team, we did a good job, but it's definitely frustrating to run top 5 literally all day and come away with a 20-something place finish in this truck.
Yeah, as you have a part-time effort in that 36 Superstar car for 2511 Racing, when will your next start be with us, Elliott?
I honestly don't remember. I'll have to look that up. But while I'm doing that, I'll mention the fact that this truck was for Jordan Gonzalez's grandfather. Really wanted to get a solid finish for him. Was hoping we could get a nice solid top 3 or even a win. I generally felt like what we had at the end of the race was potential to winning truck, but the restarts never really fell our way. So unfortunate, but we definitely showed them we were here. The next track we're going to be at is Darlington in 4 or 5 weeks. So we'll see what we can do there. But yeah, you know, frustrating to pretty much have a shot at racing Jake there at the end with Brockman and Hunter, and unfortunately putting the wall 4 minutes of damage and killed race truck after running top 3 all day.
You had a great run all day, Elliott. Yeah, I would have to agree. You had possibly the third, maybe even the second fastest car. You and Duclos were very quick and very close on speed. Very disappointing to see that big accident happen late. Excited to see you come back for Darlington for week 8. Before you go, anybody you want to thank for today?
Yeah, we put in a lot of practice this week. I'm proud of Breyer for finishing 9th. I feel like that's probably one of his standout runs, so it's good to see him run up there. Jake's always stellar. He's just literally no luck here at Homestead, unfortunately. He probably had the truck to win today. Sucks that those cautions needed to fall at the end. I think we were pretty set on strategy and pit stops and everything, but Tyler McClellan, Michael Levine, Shane Niswanger, everybody else that's on this team for split second, they had a solid run tonight, and it's good to try to get some momentum going the right way as we get into some of these more difficult tracks like Bristol Dirt, Richmond, Darlington, Coda coming up. And then over on the 2511 side with Chris Heller, Brandon Barkowski, Jordan Gonzalez, Matt Daniels, and all those guys that run hard over there. It's nice to be over there for a change and hear some different voices on team comms. But yeah, thanks to everyone that makes this go on, Sam and Eric for putting on the league and the show, and you guys up here in the booth for making sure that it all works out. I know you had a tough night tonight, just being, I believe it was just one of you, but Kyle, you do a great job, and Jeff does a great job on the cameras. So looking forward to rewatching it back, even if you're probably out of breath for 90% of it.
That's a fair description right there. Well, I appreciate you talking to us, Elliott, and excited to see you racing at Darlington, and then excited to see you race later in the week at Kentucky in the next gen car.
Yeah, man. I'll see you next week for the Dirt Bristol call.
All right. Thank you, Elliott.
Yep.
And now I think we're gonna finally talk to Jake Miller, the dominant guy all day. Yeah, you got to feel for him. Jake Miller, Kyle Short up here in the booth. What happened there on that last incident with Breyer?
Well, honestly, I didn't get the best of restarts, and seems like they sent it into the corner a little harder than me, and well, he just tried to slide up in front of me, and he was pushing his truck way a little too hard, I think, and that's why he ended up spinning how he did. But I thought we were pretty much clear of it, and I got a big shove from Elliott, and thought we were gonna clear it, but someone hit Breyer, and then Breyer hit me, and it sucks, but it's racing for the win on a green white checker.
Yeah, you were the dominant guy all day out there, led the most laps. What was going through your mind with those late race cautions? I overheard you on the radio.
I was not a very happy person because Aaron Duclos was pretty close to me all night, but eventually, before all the cautions, we had a 4-second lead. And, when I started seeing the first caution, towards the end, I know cautions breed cautions in this league. And unfortunately, that's what happened. And I was playing pitch strategy with Elliott all night long. And it just, without those cautions, I don't think it's a contest. I think I just pull away, and it's just unfortunate.
Yeah, it was definitely very unfortunate because you were definitely the class of the field here today. And then I also heard that you last season at this track, you also were the class of the field. So Homestead shouldn't be on the schedule next season, from what I'm hearing.
I love Homestead. I'm fast at it, and yeah, last year we didn't get fuel in the truck, but it seems as if that's a glitch in iRacing coding or something because it happened to like 5 more people tonight. But yeah, no, it this year we once again. I thought the qualifying was going to be bad since we messed that up, but when we got to the lead, in clean air, we kind of just pulled away again, and unfortunately, Homestead is just bad luck.
Reminds me a lot of when Pablo Montoya couldn't win at Indy in a cup car. Reminds me a lot of that. But you did great out there tonight. And will we see you next week on the Bristol Dirt?
Oh yeah, you'll definitely see me on Bristol Dirt. Yep. I think I'll be running most of the races now. I was a little busy with work the first couple of weeks, so yeah.
Comes
I'll be
first.
I'll be back for Bristol Dirt because that's gonna be a fun track.
Glad to see you out there, Jake. It's always exciting to watch you race, especially in that season 4 champion machine.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, my meme truck.
but it'll be great seeing you out there. Anybody you want to thank, Jake?
Yeah, same guy. I always think every race is my Uncle Ron because he sits there and watches every Tuesday, and if I don't race, he won't watch. So, yeah, I always got to give him a shout out because he loves his shout outs. So, shout out to Uncle Ron.
I appreciate you talking to us up in the booth, Jake, and we hope to talk to you next week with the top 3 or maybe even a victory on the dirt.
Yeah, hopefully a victory. Have a good one, guys.
Thanks, Jake. Have a good night. All right. We're going to give you an update on our schedule here. Next week, I mentioned we'll be on the Bristol Dirt. And then this Thursday, we will be in the next gen car at Kentucky. And then next Thursday, we'll be at Kansas for the Cup Series. That should be a lot of fun. Great Lakes Truck Series presented by Patty Engineering. The scoring you saw today, the telemetry you saw today was brought to you by SDK Gaming. The cameras you saw today were brought to you by Track Cams for Gourmets. That is Track Cams for Gourmets. And then this was the Giant Tiger 200. Congratulations once again to Hunter Madalinas, the closer, winning the Giant Tiger 200 tonight. And I'm going to give you one last top 10 rundown here. Hunter Madalinas, your winner. Ross Brockman coming home second and is now your points leader. William Barbagelata finishing in third. He was tied with Brockman in points coming into today, so he's keeping tight with them. Gavin Fitzgerald, fourth. Granger, fifth. Hunter Brittle with a very good run in the sixth spot. DJ Stagner able to come back for a seventh place finish. Kevin Waltler, eighth. Briar Fritz comes home ninth, a great run from him. And Frederick Cremines comes home 10th. And we will see you next Tuesday as we're on the Bristol Dirt, as I mentioned. I expect to see everyone here next week because that's going to be a blast. And then on Thursday, we'll be in the next gen car at Kentucky. Same time, same place, right here on Split Second Broadcasting on Twitch. And I will see you guys later. Good night.